Alright, we'll try this again. It's Zeke with the Week 14 topic video. The Week 14 video whose topic is things that have become offensive to you since transitioning or beginning transition that did not offend you before. I have a few examples of this, and I'm sure there's a lot more. We've all experienced some sort of weird, awkward frustrations. Now, this one is one of the most recent, and I definitely have had different experiences of things that annoyed me when I didn't pass, and now that I do pass. They're very different things, but all fall into that category. One of the most recent, the one that was said to me most recently, and I've heard a few times, and that's when somebody perceives you as male, as you're presenting, and then finds out that you're trans, and says something along the lines of, "Oh, I thought you were a boy. I am a boy. You don't need to correct yourself." It's not like you thought I was a boy, and then I was like, "Oh, excuse me, what were you saying?" Yeah, then I don't know. I thought you were a boy. The emphasis is on the "were," as if that is not correct, as if I'm not a boy. I am. Okay, I just wasn't born with those parts, and I find it so offensive for people to be aware of that situation, not just like, think I'm a boy, but I'm really a girl, or think I'm a boy, but see like a gender marker on my ID or something. That's different. But to know that somebody is trans and they're transitioning, they're on hormones, they have male voice, facial hair, all of that stuff, and to still imply that they're not a boy, whilst trying to sound like you're supportive, it bothers me, and I don't take it personally like they're trying to say something offensive. I'm not that sensitive, but it is really frustrating to realize that even people that that know the journey you're going through still don't get it all the way. They kind of get it, but they don't really get it. Another thing is, and this is, it started changing actually when I came out as gay, but it's continued to change, which is why it still falls into this category. And that's having to behave differently towards women and children that I didn't expect. People have assumed I was gay long before I realized that. So I was already, people were already accusing me of, girls were already accusing me of hitting on them, when I was living as a girl, for quite a long time before it had ever occurred, really. And so I had to start changing the way that I spoke with people in that manner, but it didn't change so dramatically until, I started to transition, and now I have to watch what I say to girls a lot more, because a lot of them will assume that I'm hitting on them, or that I'm making some sort of sexual reference towards them, or, something like that, and it's offensive. We're not all the same, I don't make those sorts of generalizations about, about girls. I don't understand why the double standard, even people that are all about, female equality, this, that, and the other thing, still have all these preconceived notions of what a man is, and it's so hypocritical. It's messed up. So yeah, I've had to I've had to change that. Also, along the same or similar lines, is people assuming that you're emotionally unavailable. And I don't mean for a relationship like romance. I just mean, or even before, assuming that you were emotionally available as a female. Just the change between the two. And it's not that I am one or the other. I really don't think I'm unavailable or really all that available. The thing is the assumption that of the extremes, not just, I don't know how else to explain it. It's just the assumption that it's one extreme or the other, and it all has to do with your gender. I get a lot of phone calls, people need to talk or whatever, and I get that, I can listen or whatever, but people who don't know me, you all have to make that decision, or your snap judgments on people based on just seconds or a fraction of a second or what have you. And so I think what I'm trying to get at is there are a lot of factors people involve in their snap judgments of people, and the snap judgment is natural, just not all of the factors that people contribute to it. So there's that. And then also what I did not expect, and something that has began to annoy me and changed quite a bit, is hostility from lesbians. And this is from two different directions. Hostility from lesbians who perceive me to be male-born and are hostile towards me because I'm male, and hostility from lesbians who know that I'm trans and hold hostility towards me because I'm trans. The first one, it offended me before. It always offended me, even as, somebody who was living as a girl. I never understood people that were all about equality of whatever, minority they are, yet they treat other areas like crap or make all these assumptions, and this is just one of them, where, there's a lot of, feminist lesbians that, just straight up hate men. And that is not okay. That is not acceptable. Not because I think that all men are lovable, not that I think that, they need to have any sort of special relationship with men. I don't think that. What I believe, though, is that if you're ranting and raving about equality, you should probably consider having that equality, in your own mindset before you try and shove it on other people. Saying that, I want equal rights, but I will also want to treat men like crap and not let them do the same to me, that is not equality. That's double standards, and it's frustrating and needs to stop. And then back to the other part, hostility from lesbians who know that I'm trans, for being trans. Now, some of these, sometimes they're... The thing that's most offensive is the assumption. The assumptions are often that, we're switching sides, we join the enemy or whatever, or that we're trying to escape our, butch lesbian identities or whatever, and not only is that not true, but it doesn't matter, because it is nobody else's business why I choose to transition. I'm not telling you to transition. I'm not, trying to get your buddies to transition. I am not, pressuring anybody to do anything other than me be myself. Again, that's just so offensive to me, to try and interject, your feelings on how somebody else feels. You can't possibly know what's going on in somebody else's head better than they do. It's no, you can't do it. It's absurd. Anyways, I think that's about the entirety of my video. This is like my third try, because I accidentally called it week 13 in the last video. But anyways, I'm really sorry if it sounds like I'm yelling into my computer. I swear I am not only using an indoor voice, but a fairly low indoor voice. Something is up with my mic. I think it's like mega sensitive, but it makes this rumbling sound like I'm screaming into it, and that is just not the case. Anyways, I guess I will see you guys for the for the week 15 after this.